Being unwanted, unloved, uncared for, forgotten by everybody, I think that is much greater hunger, much greater poverty than the person who has nothing to eat. That's from Mother Teresa. I'm going to be talking about why we should be giving to Manna International, which is an organization that provides schooling for children who live in rural areas, more specifically the village of Bobita in the Dominican Republic. And they also provide, they do education, but also just a basis for Christian faith, and they incorporate that also into what they do. So they have a lot of sources that have a lot of facts, and also quote from the Bible a lot, and then there's a video that you can look on YouTube that kind of gives the basics for like what they do. So the need is they need to help the children who would not normally have the chance to attend school have the ability to grow in knowledge and also in their faith by attending the school who are taught by the missionaries there through the Manna International program. Everyone should have access to education. Just because you live somewhere where it's not really that accessible, you should still be able to have the opportunity to go. So one of the statistics or facts or primary education is officially free and compulsory for children between the ages of 3 and 17 in the Dominican. And although those who live in isolated areas, they have limited access to the schooling. So why this is a need? It's a need because education is such an important thing. We all take it for granted here in the U.S., but it can lead people out of poverty. It can lead people out of a country out of poverty. And so we need to get the children in school rather than putting them into jobs, which is usually what happens there. So the Dominican Labor Survey, Child Labor Survey, they did a survey, and it indicates that roughly 15% of all Dominican children from ages 5 to 14 are engaged in labor activities. As soon as they stop going to school, their lives are often marked by vicious cycles of drugs and crime and violence. And so there's a large majority, 17,000 children roughly, who participate in the labor force and who do so without attending school. And it's particularly high for boys and children who live in those rural areas where Manna is really trying to reach and help them. So the need for education, who has this need? Well, everyone in the country basically has the need. There's a lot of adults and older people, and then also younger children who don't have the opportunity to go to school. And also really in those places like in the mountains and in villages away from the main cities, they really have this need. And so that's who they're really trying to help and reach out to. So for decades, the Dominican farming families have been moving into the cities because they're really the ones who have the problems with not getting education. And so these Dominicans are really poor and not trained for different types of work, which makes it difficult for them to provide for their families with an education that will allow them to compete in the local market. So that's who really they're trying to reach out to. So education is not filling a pail, but the lighting of a fire. W.B. Yeats. So there's definitely satisfaction in helping this cause. And what we really need to is donate and support, which is plain and simple. So to help this program and to help this need, there is Manna International has a program in the Dominican, as I said, where eligible children and teens of the local village of Bobita and the town of Rio San Juan can attend a school taught by American missionaries. And the children are taught English and math and science, just like here in the States. But most importantly, they're taught about God and His love for all of us. And so from one of the pages on their website, it says it's a program that returns them to the basics. It's introducing people to the teachings of Jesus, allowing them to have the Spirit enter and convert their hearts to God, and growing them in their relationships with Christ. And so we intend to accomplish this through intense exposure and through exposure to true Christian values and mentoring in the form of school. And so we propose to, help this problem by, you can donate to this organization, you can donate and you can support just the whole cause, or you can support children. And so by donating more money to the organization, it'll give an opportunity for more children to be able to go to school and be able to learn and to be able to help their families and help their lives and just get out of that cycle of poverty. And so it'll also keep them out of the labor force. And so Another thing that they said is our curriculum was set up to so that a child who graduates from the school will be able to blow through the glass ceiling in their current world and reach educational heights that they never thought they could possibly achieve. And this is definitely feasible. It's definitely reachable. We can do this because there are so many who are in need of help. And for every 100 Dominican children entering formal education, only 75 complete grade 4, 63 complete grade 6, and 52 complete the whole 8-year levels. And so it's especially relevant in the rural areas. And so any help that we can give these people is really an improvement to their country. So we can show them how their lives will be positively influenced by this, and by doing this, you can donate to the child's life, which even might be saving a life. And so through this, even though you might not physically be there with the children, you will still have that deep and impactful relationship with them, and they'll have mentors who will be helping them. And so results from this, the children who attend the school won't have to worry about paying for anything. Like if you're supporting the child, then all their books and their school supplies and uniforms and their meals, everything will be taken care of. And the more people who are educated, the more we'll be able to influence their country. And so they'll also have the ability to support their families and to reduce the poverty level there. And so it's just like we can already see that this is going to help, because around 85% of Dominicans' parents don't go to school, and so if we can help them, like it'll just increase that level and increase the everything, and so they'll really be better off. And so just want to say that all in all, like Dominicans, like they just need more education, and this Manna International program with the students really helps them and gives more opportunities for the people. And so my closing would be that education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world. And so if we just help them, this one impactful thing can really change everything that goes on here. And so just help out if you can.